reroute the course of a river, and possibly change some habitats for some organisms, animals, etc. Can you address that issue? Rachel? You look like you have an idea. Disadvantages of
different energies.
Okay. Well, what about support for your hydroelectric power?
You don't always have to build dams. Like we can use the rivers when they go down and use the energy created from that.
How does that work? How would I utilize a river to create hydroelectric power? All right, panel, let's take a vote. You have 4 pictures in front of you. Let's start to see where you're at. So which one do you think, Mr. Ross, is the goal for most effective, best use?
Which one would you support?
Okay, so which one of the 4 would you support?
Pretty.
So please find the picture of the one that you support the most as of right now, and go ahead and hold that picture up, please. So we have a solar. We have a solar. Solar. Uh-oh. Solar. 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 And solar. Well, solar as of right now, you are winning. Okay. Wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal. Looks like you have a little bit of work to continue on with. So, Preston, do you have a question, please?
For hydroelectric, does it cost a lot to make it?
Wait, can you read that? Can you read that again?
How much does it cost to make the egg?
Depends on how big you want the dam to be.
Okay, do you have comparisons? If I wanted to build a little dam, big dam, how much would it cost? Are we talking thousands? Are we talking millions? Are we talking tens of millions? No response? Okay.
I think we had an answer at possibly.
I have that dams cost $63 million to build.
All right, so $63 million for, you know if that's a large dam, average size dam?
Just like an average
An
size.
average size dam. All right.
Can you repeat that again?
$63 million. I'm sorry, I can't read your name. Madison. Do you have a question for the group?
Yeah, no. How much money does it cost for $25,000? $25,000.
And that would be for,
Just like the drawing and stuff, and you can save 70% on money from any other month.
so that would be $25,000 for one house. Okay. Well, while we're on cost, so let's talk about cost. Wind, do we have a price?
It takes about like 1.2 to 2.2 million dollars
For
like
one windmill?
like 1 or 2 million. Yeah.
Okay. So for a couple of windmills, we're talking $1.2 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And solar, let's say I wanted to do my house.
A full-on house system to like completely take away electricity will cost $18,000 to $30,000. But you have to remember that after that, you're good. Like, you don't rely on electricity bills anymore. So it'll pay itself back eventually.
Madison, any other questions on cost? Okay. All right, so back to Megan.
It's not about cost, but it's about wind. Do you know how many, like, do you know the youngest person that died from wind energy? Do you know the youngest person that died from the wind energy? Like when it broke or whatever?
We haven't really read anything about people dying because of windmills.
Tyler, do you have an answer
The
to this?
youngest person to die was a 3-year-old. The father was in a windmill. He worked there. He was climbing up there and it snapped. He fell down, broke his back, but he's fine now. The windmill fell on the car and smashed the little 3-year-old. That's the youngest person to die.
She's dead
Yeah, she's dead.
To die.
Okay. Alright. Thank you for that information, Tyler. Alright, before we do any other questions, let's take 30 seconds again and allow you to have time to rebuttal against anything another group has said towards yours. So let's start with solar.
I don't think anyone's really saying anything that bad about us that we have a rebuttal already.
Alright, so nothing negative, nothing you want to approach? Okay, Win?
I disagree that a lot of people have died from windmills. I don't think that they have. Maybe a couple people because they were climbing up onto a windmill when it was like really windy, and that's just not very smart.
Hydroelectric?
Yeah, so geothermal. Installation requires huge one-time investment and skilled works. Geothermal site can run out of steam over a period of time due to dropping temperature, or if too much water injected to cause the rocks, and this may result in huge loss for the companies which have invested nearly in these plants. Due to this factor, companies have to do extensive initial research before setting up the plant. May contain poisonous gases, can escape deep within the earth through the holes drilled by the structure. Plants must therefore be capable.
Okay, so geothermal, she just basically slammed you guys.
Barely.
She said that the drilling costs are expensive. She said that there are poisonous gases that are released. She said that you've got issues of environmental issues that come with it. So how would you react to that?
Well, ours is easily fixed, and for hydroelectric, on August 17th, 2009, a station accident at 3:13 a.m. with 75 dead. The turbine snapped apart violently, the engine room flooded, the ceiling of the turbine hall collapsed, 9 of 10 turbines were destroyed, and 75 were killed.
Oh, snap. 75 people
Okay.
Over 69 people died in the largest station in Russia. 6 people are still missing.
Ooh, 6 people are missing.
Oh, wait. That's enough. Can I rebut against, like, someone?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to say something about Win.
Okay.
You said, hold up. You said that you don't think that anyone has died. I have, like, every bit of that, alright? So, in manufacturing, 2 people died by making them. Training, 6 people. Deaths out of shore, like in the water, 6 people died. The oldest person to die was an 85-year-old. In the middle was 35. Out of the total was 140. Total in at least 1 to 2 weeks was 80 people offshore. And I don't know what this is, O&M, 19 people died by whatever that is.
Operation.
There you go. 9 people died.
So do you have a total number?
Total was 140 out of 1 year of all that.
So Win, 140 individuals died in 1 year producing, maintaining, or using your form of energy.
Well, our resource of energy does not let out poisonous gases from the earth.
No one's died by ours.
At least water bill
But
doesn't cost $10
it
million.
always comes out. What?
Okay, but how do you react to the fact that there's been 140 individuals, according to Tyler, that have died in 1 year?
I mean, I
By
feel
winning.
bad, but at least we don't poison people.
We haven't
I have
poisoned
a
anyone.
theory.
Do you guys have evidence?
Yeah, do you have evidence?
Can I say something?
Do you guys have evidence?
Yes, Megan.
But like, you just said that a lot more people died. I bet you like half of that, half of the people died from there.
Oh, I also have the website if you want to check.
So, geothermal, do you have evidence, or do you have any numbers on if anybody has died from geothermal?
No.
Is that no, that you don't have evidence, or no, that nobody has
No, I
died?
looked it up. We didn't find any evidence.
And for solar energy, solar panels only work when it's like sunny out, so what are you gonna do in the winter time? When it's always dark, like outside?
That's not true, because solar rays are always there. And so, yes, I mean, sunny days do produce more energy, but they're always there, and so our solar panel is always going to absorb and make energy, so that's a false statement.
Alright. Also, solar energy installation requires a large area for the system to be efficient in providing the source of electricity.
It's true, but it's a lot smaller than your guys' factory, and it's just your drilling is like way more than our cost for the whole system. So,
Yeah, but our factories don't pollute yours.
Al? Hunter, good question?
Is there like any places that you can't put, like your like contents? Is there like any places where you can't put geothermal?
Are there places on the earth that you cannot use geothermal?
Not in water, not nice. We can't put a factory. We can do tunneling out onto the ocean. So we can do that.
So where are places that we can do geothermal?
Anywhere that is land where you can put a factory. That's where.
Answer your question, huh?
Yes.
Brooke?
How reliable is geothermal energy?
It's the most reliable out of all these. Like, back to the notes, it said that out of all of these, ours is the most reliable, and solar is only 35% efficient, so.
And how efficient is geothermal?
It's up in the 90s, because wind is like 85%, and ours is 90 and 93. And ours changes the climate, so if in summer you can have it cold in your house, and in winter you can have it warm.
What was your number on solar again?
Solar, 35.
Do you agree, disagree?
guys,
What's somebody other than, what's your, Luke, what's somebody other than Luke? Hannah? Do you agree with the fact that solar energy is only 35% efficient?
Yes, but that could be changed if we make them completely black and all
Okay, and that would do what?
trap more sunlight and produce more energy.
Alright. And what was your number for wind?
Wind was 80 to 85.
Aaron, do you agree with that?
And, if I can add something, and, only ours is 85%, but a single of our wind turbines, can power up to 500 homes.
Okay. And do you have a hydroelectric number?
No, but most of your windmills are in remote locations, so it's away from all populated areas.
Well, yours are too.
No,
I can't see your name. What's your name? Nate.
At least we don't take away large bodies of water and use all this water to create your energy. We don't do that.
That's hydroelectric.
Yeah, that's how you
No, that's you guys.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
hydroelectric.
dumb. I've read it all.
Right?
Tyler.
Okay, so Nate is saying that geothermal needs large amounts of water. Do you agree, disagree?
No, because we don't put it in water. Like, they have dams, so he's probably getting the information from hydroelectric and he's confusing it with us.
Hydroelectric, you need large amounts of water, yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, although we need all that water, when we use that, we get a lot of energy to power lots of homes.
Do you know what your percentage efficiency is? Okay, did you have another comment you'd like to make?
Yeah, I have a few things about wind.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The strength of wind is not constant and it varies from 0 to storm force. Many people see large wind turbines as unsightly structures, not pleasant, are interesting to look at. Wind turbines are noisy, dangerous to birds. Wind energy costs more than fossil fuels.
Ours might, disturb birds, but yours disturb, everything that lives in rivers. And there's more, fish than birds.
Nick, do you have a response to environmental fish and? Nothing? Megan?
You know how many birds have died from your thing?
What?
Like birds?
How many birds have died from wind energy?
Either the birds are too stupid because they flew into the things, or, I mean, they just died.
I don't think we can blame the birds. It's the birds' fault that we put a big giant. Matthew?
The solar, that affects wildlife because if the solar panels get too hot, it can, if something touches it, it burns up.
Michaela, do you know how hot the solar panels get? Do they?
They can get hot, but like, we put them in pretty remote areas, so like, there's not like, well, we have them on their houses, and so that's good, but like, our big plants are kinda in remote areas, and so I don't think a human's gonna touch them and get burned up.
Alex?
If they're in remote areas, that makes it so it's hard to, get the energy back to the big cities, so.
You guys in remote areas too?
Yes.
All right, so we have less than 10 minutes, so let's take one more vote of the panel. So let's see if anything's changed. Oh, I see a different. Oh, I see a couple different ones. Okay, so we have 5 solar, and now we have 2 geothermal. So geothermal starting to move their way up. All right, so Jordan, do you have a question, please? No more questions? Sydney? Preston? Madison?
No.
All right. Anybody in the front? Megan?
What?
Any additional questions?
I'm good.
Exhausted all the questions. All right, so let's go ahead and allow you 30 seconds to get with your group real quick. And I'm going to then give you time to make a rebuttal argument against somebody else. So 30 seconds real quick to talk. And then also, groups of the panel, if you guys could come up with any additional questions that you'd want answered in this last 10 minutes to make your final decision. All right, let's come back together as a group here, please. And this is our final push into the final vote of the panel here. So let's go ahead and start with wind.
Okay, solar energy. How, how is your energy good for the environment when it puts, fossil fuels into the air like CO2 and affects, our atmosphere.
Nate, can you answer that?
Our solar panels are non-polluting, they give off no carbon dioxide, no, sulfur dioxide, and they also, they give off no nitrogen or mercury into the atmosphere.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, it takes for the process to be made, we produce some fossil fuels, but like that kind of like linking, it's kind of like how you're linking solar panels to fossil fuels like that. Kind of like linking, your parts have to get to the remote area somewhere, so that's kind of like linking your car rides, the trucks take your supply somewhere, and those trucks produce fossil fuels. So that's kind of like, it's kind of like distant the way we make our solar panels. So that's kind of like how I feel about it.
Hydroelectric power.
Yeah, I have a few things about solar.
Okay.
Huge quantities of fossil fuels, waste materials produced during production cost more than fossil fuels, waste generators, those in front cause serious problems, solar panels increase overall waste. And, it says right here, even though solar energy does not pollute like some other types of energy, it is not as efficient and definitely not as cheap as other types of energy. Okay, yeah.
Back to solar. Response to that?
About the cost, about cost, our panel system is far less than one of their wind turbines. Just their drilling is a lot more than our solar panel system, and your guys' dams are just like way more than our system. So we're actually one of like the cheapest producing energies out there.
Okay, but right here it says making electricity with solar energy is still more expensive than making it by burning fuel, and people definitely don't have to.
Even though you guys say ours is expensive, I'm guessing this is for a large one, but I found that your guys' cost up to $250 million to $1.25 billion. So, I mean, ours is kind of cheaper, and as you go on with ours, you kind of save money.
And geothermal.
For solar, you said that you guys are very cheap, but in the article we read last week, it says that you're very expensive. So I don't know where you're getting that information from. And then you guys are in usually remote locations, and we are like right by the house. And so, and they're expensive to upkeep. So you're including that part. That part of it.
I didn't say we were cheap, I said we're cheaper than that.
Well, I mean, you're not counting when you're upkeeping them for a long time. And those are expensive to upkeep, and they're tough to clean, and you don't have to clean ours, because ours is underground.
We don't have to clean ours that often, so you're really not spending that much money cleaning, because I don't need to clean that often.
But you said you're still cleaning them, because you said not that often, so you're still cleaning them. So it takes a lot of time to clean them, because they're so big.
All right, so members of the panel, we have time for maybe 2 or so questions left. So, Megan.
For solar energy, like if one of those solar panels got like destroyed, how much would it be to replace it?
Well, our solar panel is going to be like a bulletproof glass, and so it's going to be kind of hard to get destroyed. But I think there might be some solar panel insurance that you can get, but you just buy a new system.
And any other questions from the panel? Okay. Any other last comments before we take a final vote here? Out?
Even though, you guys, solar panels are cheaper than all the others, they're, also the least efficient, of all the energy. So,
It's not going to be for very long, because the new technology coming out of this absolute black solar panel will just increase our efficiency rating way more, and then we'll get a lot more energy after that. But it's only going to take a very short amount of time to get that going. And more energy than the ones we have now, and it's gonna make the cost go a little bit more down too. So we're getting even more cheap.
All right, hydroelectric, last comment?
We don't always have to use the big dams. We can use small hydropower, and like I said earlier with erosions, it doesn't require like any dams or any of that, and it doesn't harm any wildlife.
Okay. And geothermal, last comment?
What you're saying is it hasn't happened yet, so you don't know if something's going to go wrong in the future. So you're just assuming, and you can't assume.
What do you mean?
You can't assume what's going to happen in the future because you don't know if something good and bad happened, if it's like get exploded or something it won't work, won't be as efficient. So you don't know that yet.
Are you confusing us with you with like earthquakes and stuff? Because ours is made in a factory.
All right, real quick, let's take a last vote. Nope, got to choose one or the other. Oh, look at that. Geothermal across the board. All right, if you guys could please take your name cards off of your tables.